Thanks, Rachel. Yeah, Jeremy Jones, the busiest man in the building. As for this match, well, we've just seen an upset, yes. But it was a mild upset because Alex Bagiolainen is a world-class player. This would be a major upset. Matt Schjetne from Norway, 31 years of age. 71st in the 9-ball ranking, 64th seed. But he has been runner-up in a Euro Tour event to Victor Solinsky
number one, Mr. Schjetne,
at the 2021 Treviso Open. Lost 9-4 in the final there. Beat Nikos Economopoulos and David Alcady on the way. So we can't completely discount his chances. And of course, winning the lag meant he got the break off.
Yeah, and that lag didn't do him any favors here in the opening rack. Hit him pretty well, maybe a little too thick. Anytime you see the cue ball kind of draw one rail above the side, probably a little heavy on the one. Now Shane with a pretty easy one ball, of course, but very difficult layout for the first rack. This is winner's qualification. So whoever wins this gets the rest of the day off. Whoever loses it has to win another match to get to that final 64. Okay, we're going to see some power on this 2-ball to get on the 3, and he's got the stroke to draw the ball underneath the 5 all the way back up where he's standing and kind of spin it towards the 3. It's a dangerous shot. If he catches the purple coming out, could be problems. And that's what I was talking about.
Jeremy Jones, the soothsayer.
Well, when you do things like that so often, you see him a little easier. Now Shane, any contact here most likely kind of separates the 3 and the cue ball, and the 4 could be tough a little bit. All right, he got a double kiss, which that's the hardest way to separate him, but he'll take it. Don't know a whole lot about his opponent.
Well, I can tell you one thing, he's used to the weather here, all the snow and the cold, because he's from Trondheim in northern Norway, age 31. Matt Schjetne.
Okay, playing to run the cue ball behind the 4 and the 8, and really nice covering up the 3 as well. And now the purple 5 is causing a huge problem kicking at this ball. He's going to have to bend this. Smiles from the Norwegian player, and you got to like seeing that early. Shane's got to bend this ball with the draw stroke. Look, he's thinking about curving around the pink 4 to the bottom rail and then up on the 3. And another part of the game through the years is Shane never got enough credit just because of how explosive offensively he was, but can't win all those titles without doing all these little things so well. Yeah. May get a little roll here with the 6. Yeah, the 6 got a little funny. Bump the 4 a little funny as well. So we'll get a good look at Matt's, technique. What he thinks about getting through the rack position play. A lot going on in this first rack. And what will be shot making later in the rack, it seems.
Came through a very tight contest in his opening match here. Beat Jakub Konia from Slovakia 9-8.
Well, I'll tell you, some things have really transpired on table number 3. If you're watching that on the Matchroom YouTube channel, look at that. Being able to knock the 6 open, that's huge in this first rack. Doesn't make things so difficult, but Tyler Steyer was up 7-1 after an early missed 8-ball from Kazakis. Really put on a clinic. And then missed a 2-ball up 7-1. It wasn't easy, but He'd tell you he makes it at a, ooh. Didn't expect that, but missed the easy 2-ball at 7-1, and I'm not sure how much play he's had since with 7 in a row from Alex Kazakis, and shooting now in rack number 16 to try and close the match. And that can do something for your mental right there to lose that match. I don't think he's going to do a ton here. Yeah, just try to get the cut on the 6. I always talked about it with Shane. I still think, even with all the greats today, if the ball's laid tough, I think he's still the best player. Seven has both pockets. He's overcut this. May get a little fortunate. We'll see. It doesn't appear so.
Lost the opening rack in his first match here against Masato Yoshioka, but thereafter he was in prime form.
Yeah. Mats could have used a little more out of the cue ball there, and those easy ones, don't take it for granted. These tables are going to get tougher as the event goes. An overcut here, and you know, that's a little bit more from what happened on the shot prior. I mean, you're supposed to get pretty tidy on that 7 coming from that missed 6 off of, from Shane. So as far as the match starting, how Mats needed it with some opportunities early, but capitalizing even more important.
And Van Boening will see this and think, he's not going to beat me today.
Yeah, no one smelled blood better than him the last 20 years.
It wasn't flawless by any means. He committed a couple of errors, but they did not cost him in the final analysis. Shane Van Boening draws first blood against Mats Schjetne in this winners qualification match at the World 9-Ball Championship. Now, on table 2 earlier on, Viktor Zielinski was in early trouble against Roman Hubler from the Czech Republic, but he produced when he had to. This was the winning ball for the very talented 22-year-old Polish star. In it went. He won 9-5. And afterwards, I caught up with him and he gave me his thoughts about that particular contest.
Masters champion against Philippines.
Victor, a lot of support out there. That meant a lot of pressure, but you came through in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's, in the other hand, it's like, you know, support, but of course it's also pressure. So, but overall it's good. I'm happy that we can play in Poland and we have the support because it really helps me. And yeah, I think like when the score was 5-5, more people came to my match and it helped me because from when I took the timeout at 5-5, then I played flawless. Then again, I didn't make any mistake from that point.
Alex Liley was telling me that you're into cartography and your studies are going on at the moment. You were doing exams and all that kind of stuff last week, so that's not the ideal preparation for this, is it really?
Oh yeah, I'm still a student. Yeah, I got right now I'm in the middle of the examination of the exam session, so yeah, it's not easy, but I'm trying to do my best and spend as much as I can at the pool table my time.
You're the youngest ever winner of a Euro Tour event at the age of 16. You've had a lot of success in the States lately, getting very close to winning titles and winning the Las Vegas Open last year. You're the number 7 seed here. Do you think you're ready for a deep run in this tournament?
Yeah, I think I'm ready because last year, especially my visit 2 months ago in the US was really successful for me. But I didn't win anything big. I was like in the 4 finals, but I lost all of them. So hopefully here I will make it better.
Well, Victor is the victor in that match anyway. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good lad, Viktor Zielinski, and there's no doubt he's a major talent, another one in that European Mosconi Cup pipeline, Jeremy.
Yeah, absolutely, and Poland's going to have plenty of those through the years. I don't know if there's going to be, there might be a team with 3 of them on there one day, but that would be incredible. But one thing about the Polish players, they're very humble in a lot of ways and very great guys to be around, and And no coincidence why they're probably the strongest country in the world right now, maybe.
Well, the strongest performance for me on this table so far in the championship has been produced by Shane van Boening against Masato Yoshioka yesterday. He lost the first rack, looked like losing the second. Yoshioka missed a straight in 8-ball. It wasn't a certainty, but it was a ball he should have potted. Van Boening equalised and then broke and ran in 5 consecutive racks. He looked so good.
Yeah, and the way Shane breaks the ball is probably as hard as anyone with the cut break. But he doesn't need, you know, ducks to get started, right? He can come. Ooh, he's gonna pay attention to that one. That one could have hung. Maybe the outer table it does. The main 3 tables play a little drier here, a little more slick.
Thank you.
So a break and run out from Shane van Boening. Nothing new there. He leads Mats Schjetne by 2 racks to 0. And on table 3, we've had a major result. A major comeback. First off, though, it's over to table 9. Now, this is Mario He, who suffered a defeat in his first match, so had to win this one to remain in the event. And the Austrian supplied the victory. 9-5 over Corral of Poland. Mario still going. And this is table 16. Another Norwegian like Schjetne. Loho Sum against Andre Gangflo. And it was the Hong Kong player who prevailed by 9 racks to 5. Lots of results coming in right now. The biggest was on table 3. Alexander Kazakis has completed a 9-7 win over Tyler Steyer, as Jeremy was saying, from 7-1 down.
Yeah, it was a tale of 2 stories, maybe 3 stories. Alex starting off real strong. Missed
Track number 3.
An 8-ball to go up 2-0.
Score is 2-0 in favor of Mr. Van Boening.
Tyler Steyer put on a clinic to go up 7-1. And then, like I said, rattled a 2-ball on the side. And just kind of things changed from there. Of course, Alex had to play great regardless. Didn't really see Tyler make a ton of mistakes from there, really. Just situational pool got away from him a few times. And here's another one of those tough shots that we love to see this guy attack with. Fairly straight, but cueing off the rail, and he's got to kind of roll the ball forward.
Let me quickly tell you, Jason Shaw, no doubt well rested after feeling very fatigued yesterday. He leads Tobias Bongers of Germany 2-0.
Yeah, nice shot there, and perfect speed, not having too much angle. I don't know if he can really do much besides the 4-9 on the next shot. He's going to have a stretch as well. I'll tell you, you did that Josh Fielder match. I got to watch quite a bit of it. Actually, it was Michael and Phil, but Josh, even in the loss, to me, looked better. You know, he looked more rested, you know, and, you know, of course, Josh being a favorite in that match, but it's not as big a favorite against Alex as people would think.
There it is. It's one-way traffic, as many predicted it might well be. Schjetne made mistakes in the first, and after that it's been all thrashing him. 9-2.
Our current score is 3-0 in favor of Mr. Van Boening.
But here on the main table, there's no hint of an upset. SVB 3-0 up.
It's amazing how hard he can hit the cut break, and not only just make the one in the side, but keep the cue ball on the table so often. Look at all these grouping on one side pretty much. And you would think the 8 plays to make it a little bigger pocket for a tough combination, but not so much on the tighter equipment. So we'll see what Shane wants to play. He certainly wants to attack if he feels it's doable. And Maciel, he can get moving quickly and run a lot of racks. So I'm pretty sure the way Ralph's played, probably had to sit in the chair quite a bit. Not out of the tournament, though. And this isn't the type of shot you want to slow roll with the 8 there. You want to put a little speed on this combination. So a lot of cut. And he's, you know, you don't want to hit with a high ball with a lot of speed. You're going to maybe scratch cross corner. So it's kind of like center ball. I doubt he rolls this. Now, one thing he could do is he could shoot straight through the 3 lightly and push the cue ball up on the back of the purple 5 ball. Yeah, he's cueing downward. So that tells you he's probably attacking. Is he 3-railing this around and kind of stunning the cue ball below the 9, maybe? Oh, he played the combo. Nice shot. And that's all feel there, Phil.
And it all just opened up as if to obey the great man.
Yeah, a little careful shot here, drawing off the ball, and I'm surprised he came that far back. Thought he would settle for the longer shot on the pink 4, and maybe that point on the side helped him out there. I think he was going to be snookered otherwise. So a little bit of a roll on a funny shot, and a very tight pocket on the 6, it looks like. So it looks like he may track this one rail up the short side for the green in the lower left. Now the key to this is don't be short with the cue ball. Well, he's not short. He's going to hope he doesn't get jacked up here. And I've seen it, you know, more often than you would think, to where if he gets a look at it, he's going to make it. Kind of like a filler, you say.
That recovery shot to a distant pocket was a feature of his success against Yoshioka yesterday. A couple of really good 2 balls.
Yeah, probably after the break as well. The one thing is when he's in form, like a lot of players would have elevated, stunned the 6. They don't want to roll the ball that far right on a tough shot. When he's in form, he plays it how he feels like is correct, no matter the difficulty, and that's a scary thing.
"3-0 becomes 4-0. And Shane van Boening, as he did in his first match, looks every inch the defending champion. Some might say the title favourite. Now, when he won the championship last year, Van Boening produced an incredible comeback. 10-3 down, 1-11-10 in the last 32 against Mika Immonen. And talking of comebacks, what about this from Alexander Kazakis? Just a reminder, if you're just joining us, he was 7-1 down to US Mosconi Cup player Tyler Steyer. In the end, though, Kazakis had the last laugh. This, the winning 9-ball, Jeremy.
Yeah, and you talk about a range of emotions. A big high here for Kazakis with the comeback, but Tyler Steyer's got to play another match today to get in this final 64, so the kid's got to regroup.
We're just going to hear from Alex now.
Alex Kazakis, what a match, what a win. You were 7-1 down to Tyler Steyer, 9-7.
Yeah, it was crazy. At the beginning, I make a couple of mistakes actually, and I could go probably 3-1 or 4-1 up, and you know, he get advantage of it, and then everything was going his way till 7-1, and then I don't know. Suddenly something changed and everything went my way. even my break was not working really well.
You say that, but tell the people watching back home what it's like when you're playing in a match and you're losing so big and you start to come back in the match. What's it like emotionally?
Well, emotionally at the beginning you're 7-1 down, you're feeling no pressure at all because you said, okay, I have nothing to lose. But you know, when you're getting closer and closer, you know, pressure start coming back again. But the main point is not to give up ever. Whatever the score is, even if it's 8-0 or whatever the score is, try to win every game, and you never know what's going to happen, like now.
Where do you feel like your game is at?
Well, I can't say I'm feeling like 3-4 months ago, but I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm not feeling perfect, but I'm very. I believe in myself, so that's a good thing. We'll see what's gonna happen. I don't know.
You've gone deep before in this event. You're through to the last 64. What's it going to take for Alex Kazakis to snap this world title off?
Well, it's gonna take a lot of belief, a lot of luck, and a lot of good pull for sure.
Alex, good luck in the last 64. Well done.
What a smashing individual, and in that match, in terms of recovery, he was Alexander the Great.
Yeah, didn't see a whole lot, like I said, from Tyler that he'd like to have back, and now it's 7-1. He did miss a 2-ball on the side, and you know, 7-1. We can all feel that that one shot wouldn't cost you, but these matches can change like the wind, and these guys know it. That's why you can see the constant grind, even with big leads. And caught that a little heavy to the pocket, wanted to cut it a little more the other way, and he may have gotten fortunate. If this ball's even close to the pocket as far as the aim, he can throw this ball in.
The frozen chain. Yeah.
He should shoot away, though. Looks like it may be aimed a little bit high. Can't quite tell. Well, that tells me right there it's aimed actually probably a little low. He's going to try and bring the 5 ball up a little bit. Tell you, talk about him being all kinds of dangerous, but Lady Luck gets on his side a little bit. Watch out. He's going to be upset about that. It wasn't so much he hit it too hard, it was more about the contact from the 6 to the 7. This is where I don't think Shane's going to get kind of, oh, I'm up 4-0, my opponent hasn't played well, and go for something. He's going to stick to his guns and make Mats earn it.
Hard as nails, the composition of a champion.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I wouldn't doubt, of course, Shane, even though you don't know it, he watches these other Americans play, you know, more and more as years have gone on. I wouldn't doubt he saw that comeback from Alex Kazakis in that Tyler Steyr match. Another world champion, former world champion, Mika Immonen, playing for his tournament life. Saw him this morning at breakfast. What a nice shot here. Really nice attacking shot there.
Well, there it was. We were extolling the virtues of Shane van Boening for keeping it tight and showing respect and all of that kind of stuff and taking no liberties. And in the end, it backfired because Schjetne pulled off by far his best shot of the match so far. He's on the scoreboard, the Norwegian. Shane van Boening's lead trimmed to 4-1.
Yeah, you can see the age 31, nicknamed Goldie. Not sure why. Would like to know, though. European, 3-time semifinalist, so not just once he got in there, 3 times. So that says something about his game. And even that last bank on the 8 shows you why Shane is not gonna get too loose here in this match.
This is the bank. Length of the table and just about accurate enough.
Yeah, had a lot of overspin on the 8, which helped the bank, even though it didn't hit perfectly.
Talking about playing for your tournament life, Jeremy. Max Eberle from the USA out, beaten 9-4 by Ruben Bautista from Mexico. Billy Thorpe, another American Mosconi Cup player, 2-1 up on Chetan Chahabra.
Rack number 6, our current score is 4-1 in favor of Mr. Van Boening.
In a match where the loser goes home.
Schjetne to break.
Yeah. for both those guys, Max a little more dedicated and trying to play more full-time, many more tournaments, and it showed back home. And Billy back on the scene. I think both those guys, of course, they're trying to win, but they have to try to get back to getting comfortable in these big events again. I think that's as important as winning these matches. Okay, thin cut shot on the one here. On the slick table, if he catches this a little thick to the pocket, maybe he worries about the scratch cross side. He caught it way thick, and there's that scratch. Kind of one-stroked it feel. I don't know his game, but that's not a good sign as far as like nerves and stuff.
Well, he missed 2 balls, didn't he, in the first rack, and that one goes astray. And look at this table. You would imagine that Shane van Boening wouldn't need any further invitation.
No, there is some work, though. He's got to play a nice shot from the 2 to the 4 with the 2 in the middle. And the 5's a little pinned on the right side of the rail, but very manageable. May have overcooked this a little. Yeah, surprised he drew that ball for the side. I thought he would just draw it up and play the 2 in the lower left. And this has gotten very awkward, I think. He's going 3 rails around the 5, top side of the 5. That's got to go a little bit. It's going to spread just enough.
I think at one point there, Jeremy, he was a little concerned he might go in behind the brown 7, but it stopped in time.
Yeah, and Shane's a guy that really keeps everything, you know, in his little computer up there in that brain. You could see in the last game, after Matt's made a beautiful bank, Shane was upset not about the bank being made, but letting him to the table with missed position on the 8. And there also he kind of registered what happened from the 1 to the 2. Back in line here, though.
In his first match yesterday, this was one shot that caught him out slightly, but not today. He missed one of those, and he also very nearly overcut another and just about went in. That, though, was a no-doubter.
I guess that's the miss that cut off his little run of 5 racks, right? Would have been a 6th rack, and now in perfect line to just stop his ball for a routine 7, 8, 9.
Van Boening going about his business very efficiently indeed. If any match against any opponent in the World 9-Ball Championship can be described as routine, technique rules, didn't he? He was jumping around on the shots, but he reached the final.
Yeah, he sure did. Mauro Paez from the LA area, of course, originally from Mexico. And a longtime running mate of Oscar Dominguez's father, Ernesto. And that was crazy. I believe he played Fong Peng Chao, or who did he play in the final? Who was it?
Yeah, it was Fong Peng Chao.
Fong Peng Chao, yeah. And that was his 2nd world title, if I remember. Sorry, a rare dry break. Sorry.
You said what I was going to say. Very rare dry break from Van Boening.
Wow, look at that. So we've had a few slide in that you figured maybe would stand up, but these pockets are going to kind of show their teeth more and more as matches go. And look at this. This ball got double kissed a little and still hung. That's the deep shelves that we play on most professional tournaments. Not only Shane being in form, and the thing I got asked first as I arrived here was, how does Shane come in this differently Well, he comes in as a world champion now. He's never played the World 9 Ball before, saying that. So in form, has that title behind him. And still has a ton of incredible pool left in him. To learn something about pool, watch how he cues this ball. Even though he needs it easy, he's not going to roll the ball. He's going to let his tip position kind of kill the cue ball while he stays nice and aggressive with the swing. Now he overcut that one a little. That's why the cue ball got away. So probably short side on the 9. He's going to pay attention to this after that overcut on the 6 he had earlier in the match.
All like a stroll in the park. The man from Rapid City, South Dakota, rapidly into a 6-1 lead. Looks like he's going to make the last 64 of this World Championship without breaking sweat.
Yeah, and he's going to do that if you give him all the chances. He's going to do it most of the time when you don't give him any chances, but pretty obvious to see the young man from Norway kind of feeling the moment a little much. I don't know what the stats are. You can see 39 approaching that big 4-0 where he'll get that green jacket in the Hall of Fame, and South Dakota kid.
Yeah, World 9 Ball champion last year, of course, and before that twice a finalist. Denied at the death in those events, but he wasn't about to be denied 10 months ago, actually. It was in April, wasn't it? Early April last year when this championship was played. And he overcame Albin Auschen in the final. He's won over 100 professional titles, and that's a conservative estimate.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are real quality professional titles. There's a lot of events we play in America that has a combination of like semi-pro and professional players, and who knows what the amount of wins he has there.
The jewel in the crown for me, though, apart from this title, was the fact that he's won 5 US Opens. You've won 1, Jeremy. You know how tough it is to win 1.
Yeah.
He's won 5.
Yeah, I got to the final in '99.
The current score is 6-1
the winner's
in
side.
favor of Mr. Van Boening.
And Johnny
Mr.
Archer
Van
beat
Boening
me in the final, and I, didn't know if I was even going to get back close to winning the event. That's just how tough it is. Shane is like the greats. When he reaches that final, he rarely gets beat. Strickland was that way. Filler's a lot that way now, of course. Siegel was always talked about. Once he got to the final, very hard to beat. What I was saying prior, though, is Mats is, like I said, kind of feeling the moment a little. Certainly plays a lot better than what we've seen so far. We'll get a stat sheet here before too long. I don't know, what has he pocketed? 3 balls in the match so far?
It's 56-6.
Okay, that many. I would have bet the under if you told me 6, but or 5 rather. Now he has position on the 5 to play either side for the 6. He's looking to the near pocket. Yeah, he's going to not fool around with a tight pocket going to the lower left. This shot here, he's got to maybe put a little inside to come up the left side rail, or a hair of outside to come between the 7-8. Either are fine. Nicely struck.
must be so intimidating to play against him, because you know there's going to be a certain level of a performance which is very high, and you have to try and exceed that.
Yeah, if you really look back at Shane's losses, which will tell you as much about him as his wins, I think, when he loses, it's like a 1 mistake, 2 mistake, and you beat him. It's not really something he turns the ball over very often.
So it's 7-1 here. 2 more racks needed by the title holder to remain on course for a successful title defense. Over on table 9, Billy Thorpe, 6-1 up on the Indian Chahabra. You'll be pleased to see that, Jeremy.
Yeah, and I like that right there. That's what I like, going to look at it, taking really every ball for him right now. If he keeps it quality, whether they go in or not, is huge for him, making, you know, getting back into it, you might say, and gaining that confidence.
Another interesting score for you. Jason Shaw now 5-1 up on Tobias Bongers over on table 5. The cream is coming to the top, as it always does in this World Championship, although we have seen earlier on, if you're just joining us, a setback for Joshua Filler, beaten by Alex Pagulayan twice. He was 2 racks in front, was the killer, but the killer Pixie got the last laugh.
That's right. Jalen Chang with a big 9-8 win
Rack
over
number
Wang.
9. Our
So
current
Wang's
score is
gotta win a
7-1 in
match
favor
to
of
get
Mr. Van
through to
Boening.
that final 64.
Mr. Van Boening to break.
One of the fan favorites, and of course the player favorites. We'll get an update on Chris Melling. Is he in action on the losers qualification side?
He's in action and he's on the hill. 8-5 up on Jonas Kvaltsen Hansen.
Yeah, we're going to see a nice rail first shot, most likely. I think, anyways. He may jump this. Hard not to jump this, I guess. The rail first is pretty doable as well. He's going to go there. Looks like, depending on how much of the ball he catches, watch out for a little bit of a scratch, maybe. Oh, he jumped over the edge.
Foul.
Now, come on, Mats, show us what you're capable of.
Yeah, and I think he hit a little left English and actually, yeah, jumped over the edge as well.
I suppose now, Jeremy, the pressure on Schjetne has receded to a great degree, because he's got no expectations now. 7-1 down. No one's expecting him to win. It's just about knocking a few balls in, trying to restore some respectability to the scoreline.
Yeah, and looking ahead of, you know, most likely he's got to play a loser's qualification here, and so some good quality swings, something he can feed off of. Gets out here, the break shot, which he had a dry break in the first, so he can do a few things for himself here. And that was pretty touchy as well. Nice shot. Not a real big backswing, very short, compact. Keeps it simple, it looks like. A lot of times when you're short like that, a pretty tidy cue ball, but maybe not always the best to come with a tough shot to start the rack. Hopefully we'll get to see a little more of him in these next few racks and find out about the Norwegian.
Well, at least he's got a second rack on the board now, but it has to be said, Shane Van Boening.
Could tell, Phil.
Rack
I've heard
number
it
10.
before from you.
Our current score is 7-2 in favor of
You would
Mr.
say,
Van Boening.
you know, maybe a little
Mr.
more of
Schjetne
a
to break.
qualified player than Candela. So just like Filler in my mind. Shaw looking better after some good sleep and a lot of frustrations here on the break shot for Matt Schjetne. Now, he may have to cue this with a little inside English. Look at the break, caught it a little thin. The one hit way before the side. I may have to cue this with a little inside English and use the 3 to hold the cue ball for the 2. I think, anyways. Yeah, like that. You see a big cluster around the racking area. That's a sign of that real thin hit on the 1, not getting much energy into the rack. Shane's ideal here. Now he wants to draw the cue ball at least a straight in on the 4. That way he doesn't have to worry about the 9, anything like that when he's moving the cue ball off the 4 to the 5. Little draw stroke here. That looks pretty perfect.
Let me quickly tell you on table 14, looking a little smelly for Chris Melling. He's now only 8-7 up on Jonas Kvaltsen Hansen.
Okay, he's going to have to play a delicate shot from the 6 to the 7 because he can't get very full on the 6, so it's going to be something with some type of spin. Where the cue ball's at now is a pretty good spot. Just to float the 6 in. Looks like he's going to come twice across. Shane's technique really offers a little better for that type of shot rather than kind of killing the cue ball with a load of spin. Now he'll float this with a heavy right tip position, right side, coming around, maybe a hair of draw as well. Kind of floated it, nice swing there. This is going to get tricky. May have to play from underneath. I don't know how much angle he has here on the 7th film. Not taking much time, but great camera view there. So he can get up for the 8 in the short corner.
And as you saw there, just cheated the pocket. Give himself that extra little bit of angle. And fractions make so much difference. That was centre pocket. And now he's 1 ball away from the hill. I know the opposition is not exactly well known, but I really like what I'm seeing from Shane van Boening. He was a 9-2 winner in his first match yesterday, and he's on course to repeat that scoreline here today.
Yeah, and he is the epitome of someone that just worries about himself, even in, easy wins.
So this is the format for the World Pool Championship this year. 128 players started out. It's double elimination to the last 64, then cutthroat. Single elimination from there. Winner breaks format, which I fully endorse. It makes for really interesting pool because there's always the possibility of a comeback. You need 2 wins to make the last 64, and Shane van Boening is now just 1 win away from achieving that initial goal. And of course, when you get to the last 64, the races go up to 11 racks, which is even better for him. The final, as we know, is a race to 13. The better the player, the lengthier the race you want.
Absolutely.
Rack number 11. Our current score is 8-2 in favor of Mr. van Boening. Mr. van Boening to break on the hill.
Wow, incredible smash there. A reasonable shot on the 2, and may look like this 2 gets down. Pretty natural getting on the 3, the 4 in the lower corner, the 5 hanging in the side. So we may have seen the last of Mats Schjetne from Norway, at least in this match.
From the very first rack, it looked as though Shane van Boening was going to have an untroubled passage. And that's exactly how it's worked out. Schjetne missed a couple of pots in the opener. Van Boening got over the line, then broke and ran 3 consecutive racks, and from there the writing was on the wall in capital letters.
And you can see him not taking anything for granted. It's just kind of inspecting, getting from the 5 to the 6 that gets him to the 7. Can play it a few ways. Doesn't want to play short side on the 7. It's not the worst thing in the world just because of where the 6 is at. It's very natural to come a couple rails where he's standing now for the 7 in the upper left. Sometimes that's the best play, just because when the ball wants to move naturally, your touch is better. Everything seems to make sense pretty easily. So he's going to hold to play that short side shot on the 7. Main thing here is Phil, stay off the rail with the cue ball. As long as he's off the rail, he should be able to work back for the 9. And he's going to want that to settle.
So this, and take the rest of the day off. Was it ever in doubt? SVB playing some very nice pool indeed. 9-2.